Today we are going to be talking about 10 absolute worst African dictators. If this is your first time watching this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Many countries in Africa have been privy to the many different forms of government, ranging from one end of the spectrum to the other. Most surprisingly, some of the worst African dictators didn't even have to overthrow for power. It was given to them. Here is a list of 10 worst dictators that Africa have ever seen in their history. Number 1. Charles Taylor. Charles Mikoto Ganake Taylor is from Liberia. His life story is akin to that of a movie. He became the 22nd president of Liberia on August 2, 1997 and served until August 11, 2003. Before his presidency, Taylor was accused of embezzlement. He escaped to the US but was caught and jailed. Like the star of a movie, he soon escaped from the jail and returned to Africa. In 1997, he was elected as president. His presidency was marked with allegations of illegal trading of blood diamonds, purchasing weapons and recruiting child soldiers to aid rebels. On August 11, 2003, he resigned after being pressured by the US government. In 2012, after years of trial, Taylor was convicted of 11 charges. These charges include acts of terrorism, murders, rape, sexual slavery, enslavement, and enlisting child soldiers. On the list is Mobutu Sese Seko. Mobutu Sese Seko, born Joseph Desire, served as the president of Democratic Republic of Congo from 1965 to 1997 after seizing power in a coup. Mobutu, while in office, tried to boost economic growth by nationalizing the Katanga copper mines and by trying to attract foreign investors. He even changed the name of the country to the Republic of Zaire. However, no economic growth occurred. Instead, the country suffered from hyperinflation, increasing debt and extreme currency devaluation. When citizens were suffering, this dictator built his personal fortune from the coffers of the country and corruption. In May 1997, he was ousted by rebel forces, and 3 months later, he died from prostate cancer in Morocco. The next person on the list is Robert Mugabe. Robert Mugabe, a man known for sometimes his very controversial comments, served as the president of the Republic of Zimbabwe since 1987. In 1987, Mugabe was appointed president of Zimbabwe after the constitution was amended. During the 90s, the economy was suffering from inflation, but government officials were raising their salaries. Despite growing opposition among the people, increasing debt, and a fall in the standard of living of Zimbabweans, Mugabe won elections again in 2002. In 2005, it is alleged that he won the re-election with the help of corruption and violence, and in March 2008 re-election, Mugabe refused to give up his seat, which led to a violent outbreak. Again in 2013, he won the elections. Until his death, throughout his rule, anyone who opposes him has been subjected to intimidation, arrest, and persecution. The next on the list is General Sanni Abacha. A Nigerian army general, Sanni Abacha served as a de facto president of Nigeria for the years 1993 to 1998. Abacha seized power in 1993 when he overthrew the government of Chief Ernest Shonekan. Through a decree, he gave himself absolute power. Unlike other dictators that led their country to political ruin, Abacha increased Nigeria's foreign exchange reserves, reduced the national debt, and reduced the inflation rate. However, his government has been accused of violating human rights, and Abacha and his family were accused of lining their pockets with money from the country's treasury. Abacha was ranked as the fourth most corrupt world leader in history in the year 2004. The next person on the list is Macias Nguema. Francisco Macias Nguema was sworn in as the first president of Equatorial Guinea on October 12, 1968. He served in this position until his administration was overthrown in 1979. After gaining office, he instituted the death penalty as a punishment for those who threatened the president or the government. He appointed himself titles such as Unique Miracle and Grand Master of Education, Science and Culture. Crazy dictators are no stranger to history, and the African continent seemed to have had its own share. Nguema ordered the death of those who wore spectacles so much so that at the end of his rule, almost all of the educated class had either been executed or forced into exile. He even had some members of his own family killed. The next person on the list is Sekou Toure. Ahmed Sekou Toure became the first president of Guinea in 1958 and served until 1984. Similarly to other dictators, after his election, he made his party the only legal party in the state. Toure's aim was to make Guinea a socialist country, and those who were in opposition of this were persecuted or exiled. Those who dared to make their opposition public were sent to detention camps or paid visits by the secret police. An estimated 50,000 people are believed to have been killed under Toure's rule. The next person on the list is Siad Barre. Mohamed Siad Barre served as the president of the Somali Democratic Republic from 1969 to 1991. Wow. After the assassination of Somalia's second president, Siad Barre led a military coup to seize the government. He appointed himself head of the Supreme Revolutionary Council. Subsequently, as with all other dictators, he gave himself absolute power. During his reign, Barre raised the literacy rate among Somalis, eradicated clanism, and nationalized a number of industries to foster economic growth. However, no growth was seen. Barre's reign has been described as an oppressive dictatorship. He persecuted, jailed, and tortured those who opposed his rule and disregarded the rights of the population. The next person on the list is Omar Al-Bashir. Omar Al-Bashir became the self-appointed president of Sudan on October 16, 1993, after overthrowing the elected government in a coup. Of course, upon taking up rule, he dismantled all political parties and instituted the Islamic Legal Code. He has since been re-elected as the president of Sudan 3 times, each time with the allegation of corruption, fraud, and intimidation marring the elections. In March 2009, a warrant for his arrest was issued on the charges of murder, extermination, rape, torture, and intentionally attacking civilians, but has not been arrested since. Unlike most dictators, Al-Bashir has been credited for stimulating the economic growth in Sudan. The next person on the list is Hissene Habre. Hissene Habre ruled Chad as a president from 1982 until 1990. Hissene Habre's accession to power was aided largely by France and the United States of America. Under his rule, human rights abuse became the norm. He created a secret police force that tortured and killed his opponents. Habre's government practiced ethnic cleansing, and the secret police killed by forcing detainees to put their mouth around car exhaust pipe, and they were sprayed with gas or burned. In May 2016, he was sentenced to life in prison on the charges of rape, sexual slavery, and ordering the killing of 40,000 people. The last but not the least person on the list is General Idi Amin. General Idi Amin Dada is from Uganda. On January 25, 1971, Idi Amin Dada overthrew Prime Minister Milton Obote who served as the commander of the army. He served as the president and military officer of Uganda from 1971 to 1979. When Amin took over, he told people that he would serve as a caretaker until the new elections took place. He also promised to release all the political prisoners. Like a typical politician, he went back on his word and announced himself president in February, a month after the coup. Throughout his rule, it is estimated that 500,000 people were killed. His victims include former Prime Minister Janai Luwum, journalists, lawyers, and members of his own cabinet, and many other prominent members of the society. It is said that the bodies of those who he killed were dumped in the river Nile. Well, that will be the end of today's episode. Please, if you enjoyed this and you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe and share this video. Don't forget to also leave a comment. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great week.